Good morning and welcome to the market forecast for Monday, September the 21st. John Hoagland, as always, thanking you for trusting me with your time. Hopefully, you had a good, restful weekend. It was a pretty eventful weekend around the world as we remember and honor the life of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We've got some opportunities for us in the markets already this morning. Some new uncertainties that seem to be entering the marketplace, at least for now. As far as economic numbers this morning, we don't have anything important to consider today as far as known economic releases. We do have two talking Feds not due to speak till later on this evening. As far as the news is concerned, yes, U.S. stocks are set to open considerably, if not sharply lower, on a bunch of new uncertainties. Of course, the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. There's a lack of stimulus by U.S. lawmakers. Apparently, a leak from FinCEN casting shadows on some of the global banks. And also, we have the UK government has new restrictions on public life due to a spike in coronavirus in, because of new spikes in coronavirus. So we've got our considerable weight on our shoulders this week as we start this week. Um, the VIX has had a nice jump this morning, about 17% higher at 30.45. VIX up a little bit at 93. VIX, the dollar index, up a little bit at 93.45. Forgive me if I'm a little bit off this morning. Make sure you do like, share, comment, question, feedback, and heckling are always welcome. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications for when we do go live. We've got a lot of folks saying good morning, and it's always a pleasure to see everybody in the morning. MSS Capital, first one in the room. You win the prize. Charles, a close second. Rob T, Charles, Tim, Charles Lucas, Dimitri, good to see you. Charles, tried to buy crude today, but came to my senses. Probably a good thing, at least so far. Charles March, good morning. Tanya, good morning. Charles Lucas, good morning. Nick Mo, Subconscious, good morning. Charles Lucas, didn't catch any of it, unfortunately. Well, that's okay. There's going to be more opportunities coming. As always, we're going to see what we can see as far as context and risk management are concerned here this morning. Good morning, John. Good morning, Kevin Scott. Good morning. Returning after a long week of rest. Good to see you back, Kevin. Good to see you back in action. Take your time. No reason to jump in before you're absolutely ready. And hopefully, that little bit of time off gave you a little bit of opportunity to clear your vision a little bit. I know you think you were in the way of the hurricanes, and it's good to see you back and good to see you safe. Nice day to return. Yes, Tanya stopped shorted Nasdaq Friday close due to the open. It wasn't. It was my perfect short set up for all of my stats, but like Dan said last week, I wasn't confident it would keep going, and I got out of a little pullback. Well, you're going to see some opportunities, it looks like, for shorts or possible shorts this week, Tanya. We're going to have to see how this all plays out. Working on a holiday, we're going to holding until the market gives me a real reason to get out, and that's a good thing to work on, Tanya. I know you've been working on expanding your time frame for quite a while, so good to see you're still working on that. Esteban, Keith, good morning. Alan, Vast West, George, Andrew, Sarah, good to see you. Charles, Rocker, good to see you. Prima, and Craig and Doyle, good to see everybody this morning. And I've been having a little bit of trouble with the stability and being able to hold my charts on, so I'm going to restart them. If we do lose the charts on the way down, on the way through, I will notice and I will get them back up for us. And let's see, we've got them now. So let's dive in and take a look at these charts. As always, we start with the daily in crude oil. Let's give it a look. All right. Here is the daily. So nice little pullback here. The uncertainties in the overall marketplace have, of course, weighed on crude prices. The upside recovery has stalled again because of the uncertainties out there, including COVID concerns. Rollover is ending. That's going to be a good thing for us. We're going to be able to depend a little bit more on volume and open interest. Volume was pretty good on Friday. Open interest an additional 2,200. Again, that's going to be difficult to judge because it was still part of rollover. Seeing a nice little pullback here, unable to even get to weekly kickoff high in the overnight, unable to take out Friday's high. Take a look at the 30-minute and see if we're seeing any good opportunities here. We've opened with a gap. It looks as though we've left the opening range at the low of the regular trading hour session. So this low right here of this bar is going to be somewhat pivotal for us today. We've got some overnight shorts in this market. We've got a gap. If we can't close the gap relatively early, and it looks like we have failed to do that so far, we're going to continue to look for opportunities to the short side. Watch this opening range. If this opening range low falls right here, where is this? This is 40, 42 even. If this falls, if we can't hold that, then the opening range trade may be over, and we can start to, as long as we don't close the gap, start looking for opportunities for shorts on strengths. Take a look now into the E-mini S&Ps. Here's the daily. All right, so I did keep the weekly kickoff level relatively close to yesterday's low or last week's low. I felt as though if we weren't able to hold last week's low, that our move to the downside was likely to continue, and it looks like that may be the call for now. So we've opened below that. We're going to be opening below that weekly kickoff low. The downside pullback seems to be intact. We were noticing, last week that we've fallen into some sort of range. And when we break out of that range in either direction with any kind of volume or conviction, we try and go with it. So we would be going with this move to the downside. That increase in VIX is a little disturbing too. That's a 17% increase in the VIX, all the way up at 30. That's a pretty good spike. There's an expectation of greater volatility in the marketplace for now. So we're going to be possibly looking at some bigger opportunities in the S&Ps today. To look at where we are in the shorter time frame here. Okay, settlement we've got way up here at 33.16 quarter. We've got 32.80, which is our weekly kickoff low, holding below, now it's consolidating below. Much like we were looking at, I think, much like I think we're going to be seeing today, in the NASDAQ, the S&Ps, and in gold, at least, as far as I'm remembering correctly, we've got a short time frame consolidation, which is going to be something that we're going to be able to use. We're going to watch this consolidation, and if we break out with any volume or conviction on either side of this breakout, we're going to go with that. So if we break out above the opportunity to get the weekly kickoff low is not that great. However, we lost our charts. Let me get those back. I do apologize for this. I don't know why this just happens. It seems to happen from time to time, and we're going to get those charts right back up for us. Okay, and we are on. So this area of consolidation may turn into an area of demand. It may turn into an area of supply. Either way, we're going to try and go with it once we see volume and open interest moving that direction. We have a gap. We have some overnight shorts, so we have probably some decent opportunities early in this session. But I'm not going to do anything in the middle of this range here. I'm going to wait for the market to get to the extremes, and then I'm going to look for either continuation or failure at those extremes for my early opportunities today. Lots of uncertainties out there. Don't forget to trade what you see, and don't forget that traders usually have pretty short memories. So here's the NASDAQ, the daily, testing current weekly kickoff low, which is basically last week's low. I wanted to keep things kind of tight because I think if we can't hold last week's low again, then we may see some continuation to the downside. So we're testing it now. It's going to be somewhat pivotal for us today. We're just about to open up here in, let's just call it 18 minutes. So we've got some time to see how this market kind of treats this level. Take a look at the 30. We have our range bound activity, but it's inside value and above weekly kickoff low. A little different from the S&Ps, but we're still holding some short overnight inventory. Settlement is up at 10,924. Still kind of bouncing along this weekly kickoff low, last week's low. This is a little bit of a slower opportunity, an opportunity for us to perhaps wait a little while before we look for good trade locations or good trade opportunities here for us in the NASDAQ. Again, this weekly kickoff low, last week's low, weekly kickoff low 10,740, pivotal for us today. Overnight shorts, if we can bring some new business to the downside, all of our overnight shorts are going to continue to get paid. If they don't show up, we're going to see a move back towards settlement at some point today. All right, gold. So gold also currently testing weekly kickoff low. We had seen at least some respect of this trend line earlier in the session. That respect has now been denied. Now, of course, we are testing our weekly kickoff low, which is 1924. Volume, open interest has been increasing and kind of telling us that there may be a change in direction or a bigger opportunity coming. We did add 3,000 in open interest on Friday on very low volume. Just take a look here at the 30-minute chart, see what we're seeing. So we had a gap. We have a continuation below the gap here. So our opening was in here somewhere, but we did break out below this balance area. This is what we're talking about in our equities too. We've moved to an area now we seem to be consolidating. When we break out of that consolidation, there's going to be a tendency to go with that consolidation or with that move to the downside. We're testing weekly kickoff low. So far, we've been unable to accept below it in short time frame. In the longer time frame is where this level will be more important and possibly more useful. These weekly kickoff levels are longer term levels where I'm looking for bigger, stronger money to need to, want to, or decide to adjust their inventory. So they can provide some bigger opportunities. I'm going to probably, I am not in this market right now. I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to look for evidence of acceptance below this level at some point today. And there goes my charts. I do apologize again. Let me get them back. Close. It seems to be whenever I restart the computer and there's an update is when this happens. So again, my deepest apologies. Now we're talking. All right, so this is a pivotal area. Again, this important inflection level. It does offer the opportunity for us to limit risk anytime we trade against it. All right, back to the euro. Euro is still pretty much range bound. We seem to be testing this trend line that we've tested a few times before. 1, 2, 3. Got through it this time, did not accept. We're working on it now. Still largely range bound though, and short time frame controlled. This trend line may not be respected. Volume and open interest, less probability of change. Very little change in open interest on low volume on Friday. Take a look at the 30. And settlement is all the way up here. That's 118.74. We have considerable shorts overnight. We seem to be trying to break out below our short time frame balance area before the open here. How successful we are is yet to be judged. We have a lot of overnight shorts here. We're testing that trend line. We're looking at possibly this swing low as an area of execution. But again, opening outside of range and value gives us probably a little bit of a nudge to do something earlier. I'm a little bit cautious to try and wait, not only because of that, because it's Monday, and Mondays tend to be some of my worst trading days, Monday mornings in particular. So I'm going to try and stay patient. And for the Japanese yen here, we've got a weekly kickoff largely related directly to the swing high here from July 31st. We've taken a look, we're testing above it, have not seen signs of acceptance above it, but we're still seeing lots of open interest coming into the upside, but we're starting to see a little bit of a volume divergence here. So even with the open interest continuing to pile into the long side up here, it may start to look like, because of the volume divergence here, we're seeing higher prices but lower volume. We may be starting to see the strength of this upside auction beginning to fall off, beginning to fade away. So watch this over this weekly kickoff high. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart here, we've got some overnight longs here. Settlement is all the way down here, 95, 75 and a half ticks. We've got some longs. We've got a gap. We have not been able to close the gap. It looks as though we are making an attempt to close that gap. So I'm going to be kind of cautious. I would love to see an opportunity to go up and retest the overnight high for an opportunity, but I may not get that. So yeah, I do have to remember, Fridays are typically not my best trading days, particularly in the morning. So I'm going to try and chill and wait for good opportunities as the day goes on. And as the day goes on, you may be able to depend on information that comes from today, possible previous highs, lows, areas of consolidation that occur today might provide some decent opportunities for you. So I'm just going to say hello to everybody else who popped in here. Hello, Doyle, Arvan, Troy, good to see you. Joshua, need to make my entry more precise. This is serious. Yes. Good morning, my brother Rick. Love you, my brother. Joshua, blessings to you as well. George, Charles, Lucas. Mondays are usually a sad story for me, also. Yes, it takes some time to for me anyway, to kind of get myself back in gear to be able to see the opportunities, to be able to take the opportunities. Sometimes, it takes a little while to get into gear. So let's take our deep breath. Maybe that'll help us get into gear a little bit. Stay humble, grateful, and creative today in your trading. Every day is an opportunity to do something to your benefit, to the benefit of others. Be good to yourself. This is every day there's opportunity here. Let's go out and get it. Craig says, well, if you think today is Friday, maybe it affects your trading. Very, very well might be. Very well might be. Charles, 2 trades today done for the day. Hopefully they were good ones. Subconscious, late again. Apologize. No problem, Fannis. You're here. Great to see you here. We're here all week. Dan is out today, so you'll probably see me for the market recap. I'll look forward to seeing you then. Get out there and profit today. Trade well, and I'll see you later on.